Hello everyone, welcome to the video on anti-cancer drugs. In this video, I'm going to explain about cytotoxic drugs, their action and effects. See, cancer is a big topic. I'm breaking all the topics into parts. This is the part 1 for anti-cancer drugs. The remaining things will be covered in coming videos. So in this video, I'm going to explain about alkylating agents, anti-metabolites, natural products. Now this is my YouTube channel wherein you find videos related to pharma and current COVID updates. If you like the video content, do subscribe. Let's get into the topic. Now I have made a video on cancer pathophysiology to remind you what happens in cancer. Cancer is because of mutation. Mutation could happen in oncogenes. Oncogenes means the genes which are responsible for cancer. Basically, cancer is because of uncontrolled cell division. What happens is when cell lost its control on cell division, it forms a lot of cells and they become mass of cells which is known as tumor cell. So this the loss of control is because of either oncogenes increased expression or cancer causing genes increased expression, or there is a reduction in tumor suppressor genes. See, as the name indicates, tumor suppressor genes, the job is to reduce tumor formation. But unfortunately in cancer, these genes are less expressed, whereas oncogenes are highly expressed. So what happens with that? Oncogenes are activated, whereas tumor suppressor genes are silenced. And the result is uncontrolled cell division. And this uncontrolled cell division is what results in hyperplasia. Hyperplasia means increase in number of cells. Now when the cells started multiplying, it results in dysplasia. Abnormal cell growth will be there. Now when they are growing up, when they are increasing cell mass, they become tumor, increased number of cells. And this in situ cancer means this is restricted to one place. When the size grows up, it becomes invasive cancer. It breaks up the basement membrane, goes to other tissues. It may also result in metastasis. Metastasis means a part of this tumor breaks away and goes to other organ. There it forms another kind of cancer. So this is the basic thing about cancer. So the hallmark of cancer is cell multiplication or uncontrolled cell division. So all the drugs are directed towards to control this cell division. Let us see how it happens. Now, so the drugs which are chemotherapeutic agents are, basically there are three kinds are there: cytotoxic drugs, hormones, immunoglobulins and tyrosine kinase inhibitors. Now as the name indicates, cytotoxic drugs, cyta means cell, toxic means they will cause toxicity to the cell. Now when the cell goes out of control of its cell multiplication, these drugs will go and kill the cells. That is what is meant by cytotoxic drugs. They will come up with a lot of adverse effects. We'll see about adverse effects in the next video, but right now let us understand what happens with all these things. Whereas in case of hormones, they are selectively used to treat only particular kind of cancers, like testicular cancer, endometrial cancer is because of increased expression of hormones. In such conditions, certain anti-hormones are used to treat that cancer, and that comes under this hormone classification. Immunoglobulins, tyrosine kinase are again selective anti-cancer drugs. See, these two classes will not cause cytotoxicity. They will not kill the cell. They are very selective. Whereas these three classes, alkylating agents, anti-metabolites, natural products, they cause cytotoxicity and they come up with highest levels of adverse effects. Because, see, they will kill the cells. Understand the central dogma. The hallmark of cancer is cell division. So all these drugs will get inside these rapidly multiplying cells and they will kill the cells, cytotoxic drugs. But remember, it is not only the cancer cells which are under continuous cell multiplication. Bone marrow is under continuous cell multiplication. It will also get affected. So all of them becomes a bigger adverse effects for these drugs. Now, after this, there are certain principles are there to treat cancer. That one of the principles is known as log-kill hypothesis. Understand this. See, cytotoxic actions of anti-cancer drugs follow first-order kinetics. Remember this, they follow first-order kinetics. What does it mean? They kill a fixed percentage of tumor cells, not a fixed number. Fixed percentage, that means you have 1000 cancer cells and they are converted into 100 cells. That means 100 cells are killed. That means how much? A 10% cells are killed. Again, from this 100, only 10 cells are killed because it is killing only fixed percentage of cells. That means remaining 90 cells are there. So a single agent cannot kill all the cell because they follow first order kinetics. That is the reason why one rationale for drug combinations. Only one drug, one class of drugs cannot be used because it follows first order kinetics. Only a fixed proportion is killed. So always there remains certain amount of cancerous cells. To eliminate them, there will be a combination of other classes. So this is log-kill hypothesis. Now the next one. It says growth fraction. See, cytotoxic drugs are more effective against tumors that have high growth fraction. Large percentages are actively dividing. If the cancer is actively dividing, the cytotoxic drugs will act very well on them. Normal cells with high growth fraction like bone marrow are also sensitive to anti-cancer drugs. This is what I have explained to you. This is what results in terrible adverse effects. Adverse effects. So the logic is, so if the cancer is continuously multiplying, these drugs are very effective. Unfortunately, they will affect normal cells which are continuously multiplying. Now, moving to the next one, cell cycle specificity. Understand this. See, drugs that act specifically on phases of cell cycle are called cell cycle specific and are more effective in tumors with high growth fraction. Like, see, again in tumors, there are certain tumors which has got high growth continuously multiplying, like leukemias and lymphomas. For them, the cytotoxic drugs work really well. They will be acting on certain phases of cell cycle. They are called as cell cycle specific. Now, the other classes of drugs that are cell cycle non-specific, they bind to DNA and damage the DNA, can be used in tumors with low growth fraction as well as high growth fractions. They are useful in both kind of tumors. Whereas these drugs, cell cycle specific one, are effective against only rapidly dividing cancerous cells. Understand all these three principles. Now, hence there is a word about cell cycle specificity. Let us see briefly what is this cell cycle is. Now, see, cell cycle, you have certain phases out there like G1 phase. G1 phase is a kind of preparatory phase. Cell will be preparing all its organelles to double so that it is getting ready for multiplying. Now S phase, S means synthesis. In S phase, DNA synthesis occur. So first there is a G1 phase and then you have S phase is there. Now after that you have an interval phase known as G2 phase. After synthesis of DNA, there is an interval phase that is called as G2 phase. Now after that you have M phase. M stands for mitosis or mitotic phase. In this mitotic phase, the cell is divided into two daughter cells. After G2 you have this mitotic phase. Now here comes the real thing. After mitosis, the cell may get into G0 phase. G0 phase is a quiescent or resting phase. Once the cell get into this phase, the cell will not further multiply. It just be as such. But from M phase, if it is getting into again G1 phase, the cycle continues and it continue to multiply. So these are all the phases: G1, S, G2, M. After that M, you may have G0 phase, or it may goes back to G1 phase. Now there are certain checkpoints are there. A checkpoint is there at G1. That means from G1 to S, there is a checkpoint. Again, there is a checkpoint at G2. From G2 to M, there is a checkpoint, and after M phase, there is a checkpoint. That means the cell can either get into G0 phase or it can get into G1 phase. Now, these checkpoints are carried by certain proteins known as cyclins and cyclin-dependent kinases. Both of these are undergoes mutations in cancerous cells. Because this control is lost, cell is continue to go for multiplication. The cell will not go to G0 or resting phase. It continues to multiply. That is what results in tumor cells. So this is about cell cycle. Moving to the next one. Now, the cytotoxic drugs, the first class is known as alkylating agents. The reason why it is called as alkylating agent, they alkylate DNA. DNA alkylation occurs, hence it is known as alkylating agent. There are certain classes there, all the classes are based on its chemical structure. Now the first one are known as nitrogen mustards. Now let us understand about them. In fact, they are derivatives of mustard gas. Now mustard gas is used as a poisonous gas in World War I. When soldiers were affected with mustard gas, they were treated by two of the doctors called Goodman and Gilman. These two are the researchers who come up with our pharmacology textbook called Goodman and Gilman. So these two doctors, what they have observed is mustard gas is inhibiting cell multiplication, but mustard gas has got very caustic effect. It gives very burning sensation. So in mustard gas there is a sulfur atom is there. So these two scientists changed that sulfur to nitrogen, and they have come up with the class called as nitrogen mustards. So they realized by using these nitrogen mustards cell multiplication can be limited, and they started using it to treat cancers. See, during World War II, soldiers exposed to nitrogen mustard gas showed marked depletion in marrow and lymphatic cell. That means multiplication is reduced. This is what is recognized by these two scientists, Louis Goodman and Alfred Gilman. So they come up with this class of drugs. The drugs are meclorethamine, cyclophosphamide, ifosfamide, again melphalan, chlorambucil. All of them are known as nitrogen mustards. So remember this, nitrogen mustards are because of these two, our textbook authors, Goodman and Gilman. Now after that you have methyl hydrogen derivatives are there, procarbazine. And then you have alkyl sulfonates are there. Alkyl sulfonate, only one drug is there, busulfan. Nitrosoureas, again nitrosourea, carmastine, streptozotocin, bendamustine is there. Now triazines are a different class wherein you have decarbazine is there. Decarbazine, temozolomide is there. Now after that there is an interesting group is there called as platinum coordinated complexes, cisplatin, carboplatin, oxaliplatin. See, the discovery of cisplatin is of serendipitous one. Serendipitous means accidental discovery. That means nobody wanted to discover this drug for its action. Accidentally it was discovered. How? One of the scientists was working on this agarose plate gels which contain E. coli. He wanted to see what happens when E. coli is exposed to electric shock. So he has put two platinum electrodes in this. The platinum electrodes started giving electricity, and strangely what he has observed is E. coli multiplication is inhibited. Initially he thought it is because of electric shock. Later he realized from these platinum electrodes, platinum seeped into this media and formed cisplatin, and that cisplatin inhibited cell multiplication. So this is what is known as serendipitous discovery. So see, again, platinum compounds are the inorganic compounds which are used to treat cancer. Again, platinum compounds, strictly they could not be called as alkylating agents because they do not alkylate DNA, rather they platinate. The platinum will come between the DNA. But because of similar kinds of activities, they are classed under alkylating agents. Let us see the mechanism of action. See, one of the primary drug in this case is melphalan or meclorethamine. Now meclorethamine, see, sorry, here a nitrogen is there. Now meclorethamine structure is this one. You have a methyl is attached to this amine and a diethyl chloro group is attached. Now you can see the chlorines are very good leaving groups. So when chlorine leaves up, the carbon will have a partial positive charge which forms a bond with this lone pair of this nitrogen electrons, and that results in this aziridine ring. But the important thing is it is creating a nitrogen with positive charge. So this aziridine ring is very unstable. So this nitrogen is looking for electrons. Wherever it finds electrons, it forms a bond. And the electron availability is very abundant in nitrogen bases. In adenine and guanine, you see, so this is guanine. In this guanine, you have this nitrogen is there. The nitrogen has got this lone pair of electrons. This lone pair of electrons will immediately forms a bond with carbon with a positive charge. So what happens is this nitrogen which has got a positive charge will take up these electrons, and carbon will have a positive charge, a carbocation, and that cation forms a bond with this N7 of guanine nitrogen, and that is what results in this alkylation. See, this guanine is alkylated with this drug, hence they are known as alkylating agents. Now alkylation results in major things. One, cross link of DNA occurs because of this alkylation. Second one, mismatch, like adenine has to combine with thymine, cytosine has to combine with guanine. Because of this alkylation, mismatching occurs. The final one is DNA fragmentation. All of them results in DNA breakdown. DNA breakdowns and cell death will occur. This is the reason why these drugs are called as cytotoxic drugs. One more important thing, understand this one. See, what are receptors? Biomolecules to which a drug binds. Now here the drug to which it is binding to DNA. So what is the receptor here? Here the receptor is DNA. Remember, we think that all the receptors are protein. No. Alkylating agents, The receptor is DNA. DNA is not protein in nature. So majority of receptors are protein in nature, but not all the receptors are proteins. Exception is alkylating agents go and bind with DNA. DNA is acting as a receptor. So this is how it acts, mechanism of action. All of them has got similar kinds of mechanism of action. All of them will act. In case of platinum, instead of alkyl group, a platinum goes and forms a bond with DNA. So because of its similar action, it is considered as considered in the same group. Now, moving to the next one. The next group is anti-metabolites. Now, DNA metabolism is inhibited by these class of drugs, hence they are classified as anti-metabolites. We have folic acid analogs, pyrimidine analogs, and purine analogs are there. In folic acid, we have methotrexate and pemetrexate is there. Now, methotrexate is discovered by this gentleman known as Yerrapragada Subbarao. Yerrapragada Subbarao was the eminent scientist, biochemist from India who come up with the discovery of this methotrexate. So, to honor him, there is a stamp released, as well as there is a fungal species known as Subbaromyces on his name. See, Subbaromyces is a genus of fungi in the family of this particular thing. It was named in honor of Yerrapragada Subbarao. So this is the importance. Methotrexate is discovered by an Indian biochemist known as Yerrapragada Subbarao, and there is a fungal species in his name. Now, the remaining drugs, see, the pyrimidine analogs, purine analogs, all of them they have structural similarity with pyrimidine. These drugs are structurally similar to purine. Because of the structural similarity, they interfere with metabolism and inhibit DNA chain elongation. This is how they act. Let us see with one example. See, uracil, deoxyuridine monophosphate is converted to deoxythymidine monophosphate. See, only the difference between uracil and thymine is a methyl group. When a methyl is donated to uracil, it becomes thymine, and that methyl donor is tetrahydrofolate. Tetrahydrofolate donates a methyl in presence of enzyme thymidylate synthase, and it forms deoxythymidine monophosphate. Now, this enzyme thymidylate synthase is inhibited by fluorouracil. Fluorouracil, a pyrimidine analog, it inhibits this enzyme. So this conversion will not occur and DNA formation is inhibited. Similarly, folic acid is converted to dihydrofolate, which is converted to tetrahydrofolate by dihydrofolate reductase. This enzyme is inhibited by methotrexate. So all of them are required for the conversion of uracil to thymine. Dihydrofolate reductase is required, thymidylate synthase is required. Dihydrofolate reductase is inhibited by methotrexate, whereas thymidylate synthase is inhibited by 5-fluorouracil. The remaining drugs also interfere in DNA nucleotide formation because of their structural similarity, and they finally inhibit the formation of DNA. This is how antimetabolites act. Now, moving to the next one, natural products. Now, in these natural products, I have divided into two groups. One, vinca alkaloids. You have vinblastine, vinorelbine, vincristin, taxanes, paclitaxel, docetaxel, epipodophyllatoxins, and camptothecins. So, this is vinca plant is abundantly seen in everywhere. It is a wild type, vinca rosea. From that, vinblastine, vinorelbine, vincristin drugs are there. And both these classes, vinca alkaloids and taxanes, they act on tubulin protein. Now, see, when you see in mitosis, the DNA is doubled due to the replication, and the doubled DNA is segregated by microtubules. The microtubules will separate them, and that is what results in cell division. This is how it occurs. Now, microtubule function is depend upon its depolymerization and polymerization. Both of them is required. Now, depolymerization is inhibited by drugs like paclitaxel and docetaxel, whereas polymerization is inhibited by calcine and vinca alkaloids. So when these processes are inhibited, tubulin function is inhibited, and that results in mitotic arrest, finally cell death. See, tubulin binding agents will arrest in this phase, that results in mitotic arrest and cell death is there. So rapidly dividing cells cannot multiply by using these classes of drugs. Now, moving to the next class, there are drugs known as topoisomerase 1 and 2 inhibitors. Now let us understand what is this enzyme does. Topoisomerase, when DNA is replicating, the DNA will opens up. Like, see, this is DNA opens up. When it opens up, there is an increased strain is there, and the strain is relieved by this topoisomerase enzymes. They break that DNA and then religate it to relieve the strain. So see, it rotates, breaks the DNA, and then reseal it to relieve the relieve the strain. Otherwise, DNA fragmentation occurs. This is what is the function of topoisomerase 1 and 2. Now, when you see the differences, topoisomerase 1 cuts one strand, whereas topoisomerase 2 cuts both the strands. So when you inhibit these enzymes, topoisomerase 1 is inhibited by irinotecan, topotecan, whereas topoisomerase 2 is inhibited by etoposide, teneposide. When you inhibit these enzymes, the enzyme disability results in DNA fragmentation and cell death. Again, they are cytotoxic in nature. Cytotoxic in nature. This is how these drugs will act. Now, the other drugs, antibiotics. Say antibiotics, they are also known as anthracyclines, dactinomycin, daunorubicin, doxorubicin, whereas echinocandins like Yondelis is a kind of alkylating agent. Anthracindiones, mitoxanthone, bleomycin, mitomycin C. All of them are called as intercalating agents. Intercalating means DNA has got minor groove and major groove. So in the grooves, these drugs will go, see, this is how they will go and bind, and they will inhibit DNA replication, and they will cause damage to the DNA. See, these antibiotics are derived from Streptomyces species. All of them, anthracyclines are daunorubicin, doxorubicin, dactinomycin is actinomycin T. All of them, they are known as intercalating agents. Not only that, these drugs can also act as topoisomerase 2 inhibitors. So they have multiple mechanisms of action, topoisomerase 2 inhibitors as well as intercalating agents, and that is how they will kill the cancer cells. Now when you see this is again important. These drugs are S phase specific. Cytarabine, see, all of them are antimetabolites. Antimetabolites specifically inhibit the cell in synthetic phase, whereas bleomycin will inhibit the cell in G2 phase. Whereas M phase, mitotic phase inhibitors are vincristine, vinblastine, paclitaxel kind of thing. Whereas cell cycle non-specific are alkylating agents, anti-tumor agents, all of them like nitrosoureas. So this, see, I have given a brief idea about cytotoxic drugs, mechanisms of action, and what happens with that. In next video, I'm going to deal with the specificities of all these classes, like specific therapeutic use, specific adverse effects. Thank you for watching this video.